Dynamic entry. Professional henchman. I wear my hair down now because I think it looks better than my hat. Hot take, but it's how I feel. Speaking of which, anyone who's listened or watched this show for a while now knows I'm pretty opinionated. Myself as well as my wonderful co-host as well. So today, we decided to take something we did before, but do it more. We're going to get some things off of our chest, covering hot takes, opinions, confessionals, the whole shebang. We've got some skeletons in our closets, and we think it's time to clean those out.
All right, so I guess to start us off here with a hot take, since Chris did a hot take himself. You got the big three, right? You got One Piece, you got Naruto, and you got Bleach. Been on record saying not the biggest fan of One Piece, but I did, however, enjoy the 4 kids One Piece. And Naruto, obviously, we love Naruto. It's the greatest ever. That's not the hot take. The hot take, to me, is Bleach does not belong in the big three conversation, okay? I know everybody loves fucking Bleach. It's one of the big three for a reason. But in my opinion, I feel like it just kind of falls short of being as good as Naruto and as, I guess, iconic as One Piece. Bleach was just kind of like that middle child that was kind of like, if you don't like Naruto, you don't like One Piece, I guess you kind of like Bleach. And I guess I ignored Bleach. But even when I did watch it, I was like, this is cool. But when it got to the point when they went to like Hueco Mundo and all that shit, I was like, I'm out of it. I checked out. I liked when they were in the real world, just fighting demons, being soul reapers, whatever. But then it got crazy. And I know Naruto gets crazy. I know One Piece just starts off crazy, but at least you know what you're getting with that show. Bleach, I just feel like is the middle child that nobody really needs, and we don't need to have a big three. Let's just have a big two. What do you say to that, huh?
Now hear me out. I'm gonna make some people upset with this. All right? But I am personally of the belief that Call of Duty is a subpar multiplayer experience and always has been. I mean, okay, let me explain myself, right? So when I was a kid, I remember Call of Duty 3 had come out, and it was like the actual like World War I, and then after that it flipped to Modern Warfare and everything, and it was big, it was explosive, it was cool, and people were really excited about it, but I always felt like it was a dumbed down version of some other games that I grew up with prior to that. One I always think about really fondly was actually a PlayStation 2 online game called SOCOM, US Navy SEALs 2. That game had these fully well-made maps, both large and small, with crazy amount of detail. You could pick the type of soldier that you were. There were vehicles. I personally was a sniper, so I would get ghillie suits of the respective location I would be in. Like this one area was like this like Eastern European like farmstead area, and I was hiding in the middle of the field, and I remember waiting because I had watched these guys on patrol, and they went once, twice, and the third time I took both of them out and then rolled into cover and hid and nobody found me. Like that kind of stuff was what I was doing already. So by the time Modern Warfare came out and people were like, hell yeah, bro, we'll jump on Rust and we're gonna run in circles with just pistols, I was like, that's baby shit, bro. I mean, aside from that, I'd say the other game that really did it for me was Rainbow Six Vegas. Rainbow Six Vegas, you basically played as like a whole ass SWAT team and infiltrated places, and there was thought and time and strategy in it. In Call of Duty, it doesn't require a brain.
All right, confessional time. Let's see. High School of the Dead was really fucking good. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I know there's boobs in there. Boobs are tight. But also other, I guess, confessional or something I have to get off my chest. I am a firm non-believer in TikTok. I don't have that shit. I'm not on TikTok. Obviously, we're not on TikTok. We probably should be somehow. We should probably grow our audience. But anyway, I am on Instagram, however, and Instagram does have a lot of TikToks now with the Reels, so they would pretty much just get re-uploaded onto Instagram, and I see them. And I'll admit, I really enjoy anime TikTok. All right? A lot of stuff on there, some of it's kind of stupid. It's just like, shows you should be watching, here they are. And it's like, no, number one, Naruto, whatever. But there are some really cool ones that I do enjoy. There are some people who do like fashion, like inspired by anime. So I enjoy when they do like those things. I enjoy like mini reviews of shows that I don't really want to watch, but somehow they're like, oh, this is what it's about. If you like this, maybe you'll like this. So there's some cool things on there. And I'll admit that, okay? You young TikTokers out there, keep doing it, okay? Because there are some cool things on there, and yeah, I enjoy some of it. Okay, that's my confession for the day. Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned.
So, I don't like admitting this in public, with friends. I think if I ever get married one day, I'll probably hide this about myself unless my significant other watches this video. But a long time ago, I really liked Invader Zim. And that confession is a segue into a hot take because I live to talk shit. And the reason I bring it up is because I've never given time to or liked Soul Eater or Fairy Tail or Chainsaw Man or a lot of other shows, ReZero, Assassination Classroom, stuff like that, because it all just feels like Invader Zim and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. And I had my cringy emo phase before when it wasn't cool. I was not a cute emo kid. I looked terrible. My hair was blue. It was a whole thing. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like, could you imagine having like a third arm, real small? Like you'd have to get to know me. Gross. You'd have to get to know me, and then like you'd see me like at a pool party one day. You're like, is that a hand coming out of your ribs? Like, oh no, I don't like talking about it. That's how I treat Invader Zim. And when I see the fandom for things like Fairy Tail and for Soul Eater and stuff, I just see the same kid that I was back then, and I say what adults said about me back then. Ugh. Gross. Fucking.
Okay, listen. So video games are a great escape. They're fun to play. Fun. Okay? They're supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be work. All right? So my hot take, I guess, is you shouldn't grind games. All right? I know there's some games that are built to be grinded, but I just don't think that that's what games should be at the core. I think they're mainly supposed to be for you to escape and have fun. And sure, I know grinding is fun for some people, and maybe that's just how I'm worked. I don't like grinding games. There's some games that I will grind on because like you kind of have to beat certain levels or whatever. But if you're the type of player that grinds the entire first level before you fight the first boss, why? Don't do that. The game is designed for you to beat him right out the gate. You don't have to do all that grinding. And then you go fight him and you beat him in one hit. You're like, oh, that wasn't fun at all. Yeah, because you grinded the whole fucking time before you went and fought him. You don't need to do that, okay? You can just play the game and just, if you need to grind a little bit to beat the boss, say you're playing Pokemon, you can't beat the gym leader because obviously your Pokemon are on level 10 and their Pokemon's level 20. Grind your levels and then go fight them, okay? See what you're made of. Don't over prepare, I guess. Don't be the overly cautious hero who over prepares or whatever that anime is fucking called. I forgot what it's called.
Good. Actually, it was overly cautious hero. You did great.
There you go. Don't be that guy, okay? Play the game, enjoy the game, and I guess if grinding is your way to enjoy it, whatever. But I think we should, as a fan of gaming, just enjoy it for what it is and play it for fun. Don't work more than you have to work, okay? Because grinding is a lot of work, and it's just every time I see someone grind like the fuck out of a game, like Chris used to grind the fuck out of games, and I would just get upset at him because he just would grind a certain. I'm like, you're done. You got everything. You don't need to do this. And he's like, no, I need to get this sword because it's strong. Like, no, just use your plain old katana and slice them. You're done.
So, a long time ago, I used to be a firm believer in the console. For one reason or another, things happened, and I managed to eventually get myself a fairly decent PC. And I look back with my current setup now. This is a confession. I look back with my current setup now, and I realize I was never a console gamer. I love the control because I think ergonomically, it's much more user-friendly and intuitive. And it feels good. I feel like my brain moves faster using one than it does a mouse and keyboard just because I'm not really used to it still. But when I was a kid, I used to play like Guild Wars and shit like that just for fun. I was already playing big PC MMOs. So the console was like A crutch? I don't know. Like, you know how like in X-Men First Class, Magneto sits down with Rogue and he's like, show me your true self. And she like turns into her like fake form. And he's like, I said I want to see the real Raven. And then she turns into like regular Mystique and he's like, perfection. That's me talking to myself about getting myself out of consoles. Because it's like, there's nothing wrong with console games. Games should be more accessible and people should be able to get them, and consoles are the best way for that. That is flat out. Nothing beats consoles when it comes to getting games in the hands of consumers. But games are way better on PC. It's not even like, I didn't know my eyes could perceive that much detail. I just got these new monitors. It's crazy. Like what have I been doing this whole time, wasting my money on consoles? It's just so.
Okay, final, I guess, confession, hot take, whatever you want to call it, something I gotta get off my chest. I see these posts all the time, like on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and it's like, I think it's like Spider-Man or like Goku and Vegeta. Basically, there's like a path. You choose one of the paths. You got USA, Japan, and it's like, you know, like USA animation, like, you know, like a Justice League and like Spider-Man. Then you have like anime or whatever. Like all the captions are always like, oh, Japan hands down. Obviously Japan. Fucking USA animation's trash. No, it's not. I understand. And the anime is good. It's really good. It's what we our whole channel is based off of. We enjoy anime a lot here. But also, you don't necessarily need to shit on you know, Western animation, because a lot of it we grew up with, and a lot of it does influence us how we are now today. And there's a fucking great USA animation, Western animation shows out there. You know, Justice League Unlimited is really good. Regular Justice League is good. You got the Batman animated series. You got Adventure Time, regular show. All that stuff is great, and I enjoy a lot of that. But I also do enjoy anime, I was say animation, anime as well. So I think we can live in a harmony. We don't always need to necessarily pit them against each other, because they both offer different things to us culturally, and they talk about different issues, and they all have different like meanings. Some of them are just pointless, and all of it can be enjoyed. You don't need to just pick either one and shit on one or the other. Obviously, anime a lot of the times is cooler because they have a lot of cool action sequences, but sometimes you learn more from Western animation, and a lot of it speaks to what's going on, you know, here in America. You know, make it more a little bit more relatable to us, because obviously it was made for American audiences. Sometimes Japanese, you know, animation is made for Japanese audiences. So that's just my whole thing. It's like I hate when they always compare them, because they're both so important and they're both enjoyable in some way. So I don't think, same thing with like dubs and subs. Obviously it's fun to just pick a side just to like fuck with people, like, oh, obviously subs are better, or no, dubs are better. But either one's fine. Sometimes you're in the mood to just watch things without having to read things. Sometimes you want to get more of the authentic experience and have the subtitles there. So I think there's just a way to just enjoy both of them. You don't necessarily need to pick one of the over the other. And yeah, that's my whole thing. I just get really annoyed when I see like this versus this, and people are just automatically go to just shitting on Western style animation, when it's all animation, it's all enjoyable, it's all a different like form of art that we can enjoy as an audience. So just enjoy it as an audience.
So, hot take, confession. Listen, I adore mecha, not mechs, okay? I'm not talking about the things that are in Avatar, the blue people, not the arrow. You know, that one colonel uses, like the big robot, not big clunky guy there. I'm talking about like Gundams, Macrocross, Armored Core, mecha. Sleek, beautiful machines. On that note, I think Gundam is oftentimes a terrible example of mecha. And I'm a very big Gundam fan. And I let them get away with a lot of tomfoolery purely on the aspect that it's a new mecha, it's a new kit, and I can see it, it's got parts. It's like, how can I take those parts and add, you know, like my brain gets rolling like that. But they're just, you remember the other episode where I complained about cubics? You know, the 4Kids episode? Every Gundam looks like cubics. They're just squares and rectangles. And then you get some crazy ones like the Gold Astray, which is angles in like every direction, or like the Dark Matter Exia, or the regular Exia, or the Avalanche. You know, there's a bunch that are different, but in most cases, it's a whiny teenager in a robot made of squares that secretly can bend space-time in 50 episodes after you hear him cry about not wanting to kill people and then slaughter anywhere from 30 to 1,000 folks during the course of like 3 months because of hypocrisy and the war economy. You know, like the Gundam stuff. But they do all of that, and there's never really any like mecha time. Like, I want to see it get made. I want to see them test things. I want to see them upgrade their stuff. Who's tuning the computers or the machines? Who's making sure that diagnostics are being run? I don't know either. That's what I want to see in the Gundam universe, is the Gundams. It's like when you go see Godzilla, you know, and after Bryan Cranston dies, it's a really shitty movie with, what's his name? Kick-Ass?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
He's cool, but that was it. The rest of that Godzilla movie is awful. It's really bad. Shouts out to Chunky Godzilla, though. I really like him. He's probably one of my favorite Godzilla designs. Fix mecha. We need better mecha. Gundam dropped the ball, and I'm tired of letting them get away with it.
All right, guys, so that's going to be our Hot Pot for the week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, as always. We will do this again if you enjoyed it. But, I don't know, I just want to do this, kind of get, like, a fun little, like, it's been a while of us just, like, gathering information, and I thought it'd be fun to just kind of, like, let it all out. Me and Chris, we don't want to keep... Obviously, we're going to revisit some of our Hot Pots and redo them, but we wanted something kind of newer to put out there for you guys to enjoy, like a different style of video. So again, hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, let us know down below what you want to see us talk about, or just, you know, our feelings on certain subjects. Whatever, we'll talk about it in the next one. But as always, follow us, watch our other videos that we have on the feed here, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.